Thank you all for stopping in today. Just want to come in today and kind of talk about my relationship decrees that we have going on Miss to Mrs. app for the month of October. It is where you decree certain affirmations over your relationship that you expect out of your significant other, spouse, or yourself. It is a way to transform your relationship with your words and your mouth. So I just want to go a little more in depth on how to be a watchman over your relationship. A lot of people don't understand that, and they allow their relationship to just kind of flow back and forth through the wind. So I just want to go over that real quick with everyone that is online. I want you to know exactly what a relationship decree is. Again, we started October 15th, so we are halfway through. It's over November 1st, and I did say on another previous YouTube video that I may extend it to the first week in November, just depending on the community and what they desire and what they ask for. But we'll give some people a couple minutes, and then we'll just go ahead and dive in so that you guys, I won't hold you long. I'm not going to be long. I like to come in, pop in, and just give you a word, give you a midday encouragement. Again, my name is Coach Bibi Brown. I am your global wife, relationship, and marriage coach. I help debunk the falseness of relationships, and I zone in on the real. I zone in on you and not your significant other. Relationships come in two parts, you and the other person. And we tend to always see the other person before we see ourselves. And if you just be yourself, if you look at yourself before you look at the other person, you will definitely see that your relationship will grow beyond measure. So today the title is How to Be a Watchman Over Your Relationship. And what that means is you have to know what you want first and foremost in your relationship. You can't have a relationship. You can't have anything without knowing what you want. You got to know what kind of job you want to be able to go looking for it. You got to know what type of husband, what are you hungry for. You have to have some sort of direction. So why do we just have a relationship and be like, it is what it is. You don't know what you want. Being a watchman over your relationship means you are studying what you like, what you don't like, your negotiables, your non-negotiables, your deal breakers. Those are all things you need to know before entering into a relationship. You need to know yourself. Now, when you're in a relationship already, now what? Well, hold on one second. Now, when you're already in a relationship, the problem is we tend to just allow it to flow, and we don't redirect it spiritually by praying. And what I mean by that is, let's say you're not communicating effectively. Well, how do you communicate effectively? You ask for help. You pray for it. You go to God and say, God, we're arguing a lot lately. We're debating a lot lately. We can't agree on anything. This is not normal. How can we change this? How can we fix this? You ask God for help. That's being a watchman over your communication. Now, your love. It's up and down, it's lackluster, 1 minute it's hot, 1 minute it's cold, it's in between, it's not consistent. Well, you go to God, you cover that. What am I doing wrong first? What can I do to change that? What's going on, God? If there's infidelity in marriage, if there's possible infidelity in your relationship, how do you fix that? You pray about that. God, show me where I'm at fault, where I'm not loving on my spouse or my significant other the way I'm supposed to. Show me where I'm not giving to them the way that I should. Help me first and foremost. Second, then you go to show me if there's someone else out there doing what I'm not doing. Show me who's plotting and planning and scheming against my husband, my boyfriend, or us, or me. You don't know. You never know. So then God may show you someone. Now, that's not for you to accuse them. That does not give you a legal right to go searching. That does not give you a right to be like, oh, so you are cheating. That's no. God doesn't always show you things for you to go and confront and yap. God may show you to pray. You can ask, but don't accuse. He may have showed you because it's still a snake in the grass that has not reared its ugly head. It has not rattled its tail as a rattlesnake would, to warn you. God is just showing you this is what's around your relationship, your marriage. What do you do with that? You pray. You cast it down. You deny it. You void it. You ask God to not allow it to happen. That's how you're a watchman for your relationship. You have to cover your relationship. Just like you cover your relationship with your kids. You protect that. You protect that at all costs. Even if it's at the cost of you, it's a sacrifice to you. You protect that. That's what you wanted. You wanted to say I do. You begged for a mate. You prayed your butt off for a mate. You waited for a mate. Now that you have it, you're just going to let anybody come in and steal him or her. You're going to let the communication just fall to the wayside and be like, whatever. You labored for this relationship. Why would you just allow it to just fall to the wayside? No, that's not what we do. You cover it. You cover your relationship. You stand on the wall of your relationship. You watch it. You pray over it. It doesn't have to be at a certain time. It doesn't have to be at the same time. It's not ritualistic. It's when it hits you. And don't be defensive. Be proactive. Be on the offense. Always ready. The enemy will bring fear, doubt, worry, anxiety. If you're covering that, God, I cover my relationship from lies. I cover my relationship from being destroyed. I cover my relationship from doubt. I cover my relationship from all of that. That's how you cover your relationship. I said I was going to come on here and pray for relationships probably in the next week or so because I want you guys to kind of get a glimpse of how to pray. Or I should say how I pray. And when I pray, I'm not saying anything extra, but when you have a relationship with God and you pray, God moves. When you have a direct connection, you spend time with Him, you pray, you worship, you adore Him, you keep His decrees, His laws, and everything else that goes with the relationship. I honor Him. He honors my prayers. If I see something's not right, I go to Him and I say, God, something's not right and I need you to fix it. Take me to the situation. Show me what's my fault. Because you have to be like David, where David said, God, show me my way. Show me my heart. Cleanse my heart. You have to be willing to be me first. What did I do? Point the finger here first. Never point the finger ever, but point it here. And then if you're clear, then you say, okay, now with my mate, Father God, what is the issue? Help me with this situation. I'm not happy. I'm miserable. He doesn't talk to me. She doesn't respect me. She talks down to me. She doesn't talk to me. We're not even intimate if you're married. If you're not. Okay, what do? Go to God. Ask God. Maybe it's something you've done to offend her. Maybe it's something he's done to offend. She's upset. You're upset. Your relationship is stalling in the intimacy level, and we know why, because that is the enemy's in marriage. That is his biggest form of attack. If he can separate the bed, defile the bed, guess what? He's in. Because you have to come together to consummate, to be intimate, to keep the connection. That's where the enemy strongly comes in marriage. And women, we harbor so much offense that it builds and builds and builds, and it comes out in the form of lack of intimacy. And that's a whole nother scope. For anybody who is ever interested, that is a whole nother scope as to why you're not as interested as you were before babies, before you said I do, before living with them. You notice the difference. You're harboring offense. You're harboring offense. So being a watchman on the wall, in a nutshell, is watching your words, watching your relationship, watching your significant other. Not snooping, not being nosy. When I say watching, If he comes in and he has an attitude, she comes in and she has an attitude, God, give me the grace to deal with whatever just happened to them. Don't accuse them. Don't assume it's you. Don't, oh, what happened to you now? No, be considerate. Be loving. How was your day? Do you want to talk about it? If not, that's fine. If you need a break, I'll go ahead and, I can leave you alone for a second. Don't be so quick to accuse or assume that it's you. It's not always you. That's a whole nother scope. It's not always you. It's not. And don't take it personal if they come home and they don't want to speak. There's a lot of people who just need to detox. And on the way home, detoxing doesn't always work. They get home and it's their comfort. They need a moment. Give them a moment. But if you start yapping at the mouth as soon as they walk through the door, you didn't give them a moment. Did you even ask them how their day was? If you didn't. So being a watchman is finding that time in prayer, when you do pray, to pray over your relationship. To pray over the areas that are great. Do not pray. Please, always pray over things that are great. Cover those the most. Don't stop just because it's great. Pray over the great part of your relationship, but also pray over the parts that are lacking, the parts that are kind of dragging along, that you're dragging. But always pray over every area of your relationship, from the good, the bad, and the ugly. And do not be afraid or ashamed to go to God and say, God, what am I doing wrong? Show me me. I want to cover my relationship. I want to pray this, and that, but I don't know how. And then seek it out in the scripture or seek it out with someone. Don't hide in shame. Don't cover it in shame. No, that's where the enemy grows power. To take away his power, you have to admit the issue. We can't communicate. We can't talk. We don't know how to love each other. He doesn't listen to me. He argues with me. He points the finger at me. He talks down to me. She disrespects me. She always has something to say. She nags too much. I can't do this right. All of those issues. Those are prayerful issues that can change things. But you have to be willing to put in the work spiritually. Everything happens in the spirit realm first. And if you go to God and ask him, help me with this area, guess who's going to work on first? You. Unfortunately. He's going to work on you. And as he works on you, then your relationship will start to transform. Because guess what? You changed. You, me. So the more that you allow God to change you, it's like that saying, be the change you want to see in the world. It's be the change you want in your relationship. If you want more love, give more love. Sow love. Sow what you want. You want more love in your relationship. You want more communication in your relationship. You want more affection in your relationship. You want more affirmation in your relationship. Whatever. You want more finances. Sow finances. Sow what you want. Be what you want. You can't expect your relationship and your significant other to be all these things up here when you're down here. That's not fair. Unfortunately, that's how we are. That's not fair. If you want your man to be here, then you need to be here, ladies. If you want your wife to be here, then sir, you need to be here. You need that man that she can respect, that she can have the security, the financial security, the security of her feelings, her heart, to know that you love her and that you're not lying to her and you're not stringing her along if you're not married. If you're married, you need to be there. You need to pay attention. You need to be more assertive. You need to be more of a leader. She's looking to you for that comfort in that. And some women, their love language is finances, and men don't understand that. It's not that she wants, give me, I want to spend. No. Her comfort and her security in her relationship and her marriage is the fact that you pay the bills. It's the fact that you get up and go to work. It's the fact that you come home and there's food on the table. That's her security. That's her love language. Just like your language, sir, may be touch. And if she doesn't touch you, you feel starved. If she doesn't hug you, you feel like, what did I do? Neither one is wrong. That's your love language. I strongly advise, who's all on here, that if you have not taken the love language test, take the love language test. Please, if you know anyone that needs these, please share. Please give me hearts. Share, because relationships are dying. And my mandate on this earth is to prevent death in marriages. That is my mandate. That is my sole purpose for being on this earth. God has given me the wisdom and the knowledge to help people understand how their relationships teeter, how their relationships stay here, why their relationships grow, why some have great relationships, why some go from man to man to man, woman to woman to woman. There's reason. You have no blueprint. You don't know what you want. You don't cover. You don't pray. You're not a watchman. You just enter into a relationship because you want a relationship, but you don't protect it. You have to protect it. There's numerous of nights I've had dreams of ladies that are tempting or trying to take my husband, trying to do whatever with my husband. But it never has manifested by the grace of God, and I thank God, because when he shows me, I don't assume he's in it. I get on my face and I cover it and I say, I bind that. I expose her for who she is. If she's a coworker, expose her. Expose her tactics, expose who she is to my husband so that he knows I need to back up. If we were friends, if we were coworkers, if we were chill, I need to back up because now she's violating my boundaries. I don't have to do anything. I'll give you an example. One of my husband and I blueprint for our marriages, we give each other time when something goes on. When there's an issue, we literally can cohabitate, be in the same house and have an issue and nobody know. Is it a lie? No. I need 3 days to get it right. That's my blueprint. And I go more in depth as I coach people. Get a blueprint for your marriage. Understand how you operate. If you're mad, what do? Do you have a safe place? Do you have a safe spot? Do you have a safe haven? Do you have a word when you have kids around and it's a little much and you need them to know, hey, tone it down, or spankings or whatever is going on, and you're like, hey, tornado. That means stop. We need to go in the room and we need to talk. Do you plan your relationship like you do a business plan? I'm not saying look at it as a contract. What I'm saying is you cannot get from point A to F, A to B, A to Z if you don't have a plan. So how do you expect to go from girlfriend to fiance to wife? Answer me that. Without a plan, without a purpose, without prayer, without a guide, without a map. You don't just wake up and get married. It doesn't happen like that. You will waste all your time, all your life, the days of your life waiting on that man, and he will never marry you because you have not put together what he desires in a wife. Or you will go from woman to woman and not be able to, they will not accept your proposal because you don't know how to be a husband, a provider, a protector. You don't understand that she's not mad that you don't have a job. She's mad because she doesn't feel secure right now. It has nothing to do with your manhood attached to your job. Those are the things that I teach. Those are the issues that are in marriages right now, in relationships, that people can't understand. So today I just wanted to come on to kind of show you guys, be a watchman. Cover what you love, and especially what's going good. Never ever say, oh, that's good, I can leave that. No. Because the minute you stop covering it is the minute the enemy will come in and wreak havoc, and now that's at the bottom. So I thank everybody for listening. I appreciate you guys for logging on. Thank you so much for your hearts, your loves, for sharing, and coming to meet me on Instagram at break_through_now. Check me out on Facebook under Coach Bibi Brown. On my app, Miss to Mrs. Please follow me. There's so much more on my community, from blogs to these live videos to my YouTube videos to challenges that help push you and charge you to be a better you for your mate, to be a better you for yourself, and to be a better you for your purpose. Know that your purpose, your relationship, once you get married, it becomes your purpose. A lot of people don't even look at it like that. Marriage is a ministry. Why do you think you get attacked the minute you say I do? You go down the aisle, you say I do, the next morning you wake up and everything changes. Not just your Mrs. and Mr., but everything changes spiritually. A covenant is a covenant between you and God. And when you say I do, you are entering a covenant under God. And that is an automatic blessing. But at the same time, it's an automatic curse that the enemy tries to put on you day in and day out. His purpose for 24/7, every day of your life that you are married, is to attack you, is to bring turmoil, is to send death, is to sin. I can go on. How you handle it is what makes your marriage persevere. How you pray about it is what makes you be persistent. It makes you make it. It gives you the heart, the desire, and the grace to stay married. No matter what that person's done, despite the obvious of hurt and abuse. We're talking about typical day-to-day arguing, debating, and not being able to communicate, and you don't know how to love me right, those type of issues, they're fixable. Stop running. It's fixable. You have to be ready to fix it spiritually first, and fix yourself spiritually, and then take the time to stay prayed up. Take the time every day. I'm not saying every hour of the day, but every day to pray. Every day to say, you know what, God, I haven't prayed over my relationship. I cover my husband, my boyfriend, whatever. I cover my kids. And show me who's trying to attack us. Show me where the enemy is trying to come in with his tactics against my relationship. Help me understand why we cannot communicate on this one decision we need to make. He wants to do this and I want to do that. Help us to come to a middle, and just instead of just blowing up and allowing your emotions to run rampant, get your emotions in check. And that is by prayer. That is all. It's all by prayer. If you don't pray over it, the enemy will attack it. You give him legal right to attack what you do not cover. And as I always say, when you say I do, your marriage becomes your purpose. My question to you is, are you going to? And if you are married, are you protecting it at all costs? That's what I'm going to leave you with. Because I'm on purpose, and so are you, and so is your marriage, and so is your relationship. And unless you see it that way, you will go from relationship to relationship looking for something that you will only find when you get it right with God, when you start praying with God. I'll say it again. You will only find the true relationship that you are seeking in a marriage when you know where to go, your source, to get what you need, to pray, to cover, and to ask him, how do I help me fix this? Not the other person. I thank you guys again. Talk to you later.